So don't worry about that then. Good evening, everyone. We're going to ask Sister Sweding, Sister Hyacinth Sweding, to do the opening prayer for us this evening, please.
Let us stand for prayer. Let us pray. Our God and our Father, as we gather here this evening, we just want to give you thanks, praise, honor, and glory. Thank you for bringing us here safely. I pray, Almighty God, that you will hasten the footstep of those that are on their way. Bring them here safely, Lord. Father, as we gather here for this 8 weeks to wellness program, I pray, Almighty God, that everything that we do will done to you, Lord. Help us to keep in good shape, good health. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. On behalf of Sister Shandira, who is the director of the Adventist Health, and Sister Charlene, who is the president of the Adventist Health Professionals Association, I am welcoming you here today to our 5th week of 8 weeks to wellness. 5th week gone quick, hey? Yeah, 5 weeks run off very, very fast. But aren't you enjoying yourself? Yes, even though we are small in numbers, but sometimes, the little numbers do a little better than the big ones. Because normally we would come and we can't find space to see anything, and we are going to be very interested in the food today. So we are right up front where we can, you know, so welcome, welcome, welcome to 8 weeks to wellness, week number 5. Now, um, Sister, 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 what's her name again? Sister Yama. Sister Yama, you just reached, but we're going to ask you to sing a song for us. Just sing a little song. Any song.
Good evening, everybody. The song that came to mind was "Bind Us Together." I was just listening to the radio, and that song stayed with me. So we'll just sing that together. Okay? Let's go on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Bind us together, Lord. Together with cords that cannot be broken. Bind us together, Lord. Together. Bind us together. There is only one God. There is only one body. There is only one King. And there is body. And that is why we so bind us together, Lord. Together. Cords that cannot be broken. Bind us together, Lord. Bind us together with love.
Oh, thank you, Sister Yama. God send you right in time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, we are going to do our little exercise. So we are going to do a little lymphatic drainage this evening for our exercise. And so I would like for you all to stand. your stomach's supposed to expand and come inside. I would like for you to just you should use oil, but we don't have any oil, so just think that you have oil, okay? Well, do that every morning and that will wake you up. All of us love food. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, our presentation for this evening is entitled What is Your Food? And that will be done by Sister Shandira Smith. And so we will learn how to prepare some delicious vegan food Okay?
Are you sure? Testing. Okay, so I'm going to do a part of that, Sister Maureen. Next week we'll do our cooking. I got mixed right up last week. All right, our cooking class is actually next Monday, so make sure you be here for that. But as a precursor to that, we're going to be talking about what's in your food. All right? So when we have the cooking class, you'll be right on point in terms of your food choices and how to prepare your foods. Mr. Thompson? Okay, so the Bahamian diet, healthy or unhealthy? How many of you think the Bahamian diet is healthy? Nobody? So she grew up on the Bahamian diet. Okay, so I'm going to use a mic. Well, I got you guys use a mic to respond so those and online can hear you. Let me let you hold this for the time being. Okay, so I saw probably half a hand saying that the Bahamian diet is healthy. So so most of you think it's unhealthy? Or are you in between? You can make it healthy. Okay, we come to that. Hold on, right there. So, before we get there, so the dietary patterns in the Bahamas, so there's an activity almost every time, and all the time food has to be involved. All right, so we always expose to food, especially in the night when we really shouldn't be eating. All right, and then the portion sizes are also increasing. When you go to certain restaurants, they have the biggie size that or super size that, and some restaurants offer you huge portions of food. All right, and then eating away from home. Some people don't like to cook anymore. They like to go and buy food at different restaurants. And then we also have our consumption patterns different on the weekends. We eat a certain way from Monday to Friday, and on the weekends we just lay loose, right? That also the trend towards greater consumption of calorically sweetened beverage continues. Almost every time I go to food store, I see a couple new beverages sugar sweetened beverages on the market. Let's go back to the fourth point. One time I was picking up some pathfinders for club meeting one Sunday morning, and I was on Oaksville, just close by on Thompson Boulevard. I was going through, and then the Robert McDonald's and Wendy's is on. I can't remember the name right now, but there was a long line. I was trying to figure out what's going on a Sunday morning. The lines was long, and it actually came into the road. So I was like, huh? And I realized people were actually going to buy breakfast. I thought people would more likely cook breakfast on the Sunday morning. So that sort of threw me off. All right, so now Sister Yama, is anything wrong with the way we eat? No, she was offering some suggestions. You can give her a mic.
Okay, like how you mentioned the portion sizes, and we tend to eat a lot of starch. You know, it has to be peas and rice has to be a part of our meal. If rice ain't there, then we don't. It's like we haven't eaten.
That's right.
Yeah. So and then we have to have the potato salad plus the macaroni. That's the three combination right there. Yeah, and the coleslaw. And so
The
coleslaw.
coleslaw.
Yeah, we have to add sugar in our coleslaw. If you don't have sugar, then it ain't right, right? So the starch part of our meal is the problem. If we would cut down on the starches, like how Sister Sweeting said, we could actually make our Bahamian meals healthy.
Uh-huh. So what's wrong with having too much starch? What's the danger?
It,
Or is
raise,
there a danger?
it raises our sugar levels, yeah,
Uh-huh.
and so it tends to lead to diabetes and the same belly fat what I have right here. Insulin makes me insulin resistant.
Yes,
Yeah, because my
that's-
glucose is always high.
Okay. Sister Jasmine?
When you spoke about what is wrong with the way we eat, from a child we were taught, food was placed in front of us, and we had to eat
And
all of the
finish it.
food. We'd be told like, oh, the children in Africa are starving, and you have to eat everything. So we were basically force-fed from early,
Yes.
I think, and then that habit just continued. So I don't completely blame us for it. I would say our parents or ancestors, they felt that, you know, you have to eat and eat till you feel full, till you can't move, till you can't breathe.
Nigger writers?
Yes, right.
Okay.
Well, I guess, is anything wrong with the way we eat? I guess when you look at the culture in everyone's home, it is different. I'm not gonna really look at the way that we eat because I'm already covered that, right? Too many starches. But I am also thinking back at the way that we ate. We had to eat and then we waited at least 30 minutes before we drank our drink or water or whatever, and that was enforced by the priest of the home. And so we had the drink was in the freezer under lock and key, so we had to wait. So that is a culture that was in our home, and anyone that came to visit, even visitors, young or old, had to wait. And so I noticed that a lot of children, as they take a spoon, they're drinking, chugging down their Kool-Aid, they're chugging down their sodas. And so that is still a practice that I mostly practice, but that is something that I've noticed that was different in my home and when I visited other persons.
Okay, very good. Anybody else? Any additions to what they said? So what are the foods that we don't eat enough of? We heard that we eat too much carbs, or is there anything else that we eat too much of, and what are the things that we don't eat enough of? We don't eat enough vegetables and
Vegetables, fruits, salads, nuts, grains,
Uh-huh. What
And
about the beverages?
water. We don't drink enough water.
Uh-huh. Okay. And then the whole grains.
Yeah, I mentioned
And
that.
we also have too much animal meat, too much animal protein.
Right.
Okay, that's another one. And also the dairy foods. Okay? Yes. Uh-huh. We eat, we truck all day. All right, so you are the Minister of Health, and the Prime Minister has given you the mandate to improve the nutrition status of Bahamians. What are some of the things that you will implement to achieve that? You are the Minister of Health and Wellness.
I would start with the children, especially with breakfast first thing in the morning before they go to school, like a healthy breakfast. And I would make sure they get a good lunch at school. Like if the school prepare the lunch and you know what they are getting, that is good. Yes, we could do that. We could do it. And then we would have to try and replace some foods like maybe not the fried chicken so much, but maybe even if they're eating chicken, it could be like baked or grilled or something like that instead of, and cut the fries out. And yeah, there's a lot of things we can do, you know. But yeah, and we start with them, with the children. And then another thing we maybe should start with is when they have recess time, like our days, the good old days, we used to go outside and play. They don't do that anymore. They would sit around the computer, etc., etc. So that's where we have to start with our young people.
I would,
their snacks should be mainly fruits.
Go ahead, Sister Jasmine.
I would ban the sugary candies and sodas on campus, on or at the schools. How you have the lunch ladies or persons just showing up there. I noticed it no longer than this week when I was walking. I live off Charles Sanders Highway, and there was a gentleman there parked with a car before school even started around 7:30, selling candies to the children. Chips. I've reported them before. You know, I've called the ministry and reported when I see it. But now I know this is happening again. Like, who is monitoring it? And something that I would like to do, God laid this on my heart just recently. I said, since I just returned home to the Bahamas, when I start working and have money, I want to start like a program with an apple a day. Like donate a case of apple to just adopt a school. A case of apple so they could have some fruit or some fiber. 'Cause some children, that's the only meal they have when they go to school, or they have to hustle or beg other children for lunch. But at least one fruit a day is better than none. So,
Okay.
none. So I would say let's incorporate more healthier, like you say, a sandwich. You used to have boxed lunches, you know, when we were growing up. Even if it's a half a sandwich, a fruit, and something else in the box, something else. But it's how you train children. When you start giving them that from early on, now it's different when they go home if the parents decide or the relatives, whoever keeping them, give them something else. But let's start with the primary schools. Like get rid of the sugary stuff.
Yes, very good.
Okay, how can we correct these practices? Well, as an educator, I've implemented morning snacks. I've been in early childhood for better part of 7 years. And so being in upper primary this year and last year, I started implementing the same things that we did in early childhood. I would encourage the children, well, I mandated them, ordered them to only drink water during morning break and a fruit. And so because I realized that a lot of parents, even in grade 4, you would have some parents calling you. You're thinking it's about homework. I realized that my child didn't eat anything today. And I said, what you mean? I watched them eat lunch. No, I'm talking about the snack time. They sent a honey bun, they sent Oreos, they sent Ritz Bits, they sent Cracker Jacks, they sent a fruit cocktail, heavy syrup. And I'm saying they have 5 minutes to eat. Where will they consume all of these sugary sweets? You know, and so I said, well, in Miss Lewis' class, they will not eat these sugary sweets because it does not help them at all. When they gobble these fruits, when they gobble down these sugary snacks down, what happens is before lunchtime, they are sleeping on the table. And so I said, no, they're not going to be doing it. They're going to be drinking water. And what I noticed that they've been trying to drink all of their water. And now that we are approaching the Easter term, all of my students now prefer water. Sometimes they don't even purchase juice. They don't purchase the chubbies in the shop anymore. They literally will opt to buy water.
Wonderful.
And so I noticed that even helped with hygiene. It helped with body odor. The more water they drank, you know. So I'm really grateful that, you know, I've implemented that under the admonition of the Holy Spirit to encourage them to drink more water. And I would only give them a junk food, allow them to eat a junk food Wednesdays and Fridays. So Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, they have to eat a healthy snack.
Wonderful. All right.
Good evening, everybody.
Minister Val. Go
The
ahead.
Diabetic Association, we are aware of that. A lot of primary school children are diabetic. So we are aware of that.
Yes.
Working on it.
Wonderful. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. All right, let's go on. So just a reminder about what nutrition is. So with having or wanting or needing to make changes, we have to make sure that we educate and train our children. You mentioned starting from the primary schools, we even go to the preschools, all right? Train them from there as young as we can. And so hopefully they'll influence their parents, and then their parents try to make the entire family healthy. And then just remember what a balanced meal is. One that includes a variety of nutritious foods, eaten in the right amounts at the right time to nourish and strengthen the body. And this is how food and lifestyle choices affect our health. So we have a poor diet, which is characterized as being one with too much energy or too much calories, too much high fat and greasy food, too much salt, too much alcohol, not enough fiber, not enough activity. And this increases our risk for becoming overweight and obese, and then that gives rise to those chronic illnesses. Now, not all obese persons may actually develop these conditions. We have some persons who are normal weight developing these conditions. All right, so it's the quality of our diet, the quality of our health, our lifestyle that dictates what happens to us. How many of you think genetics have an influence on our disease risk? You think that, genetics have any impact? Yes. How much percent you'll say? 10%? That's the closest to I've heard. It's just 5%. Only 5%. The rest of it is lifestyle. lifestyle. All right, and that's a fairly new branch of medicine now, lifestyle medicine. They're realizing that persons who have certain conditions, so they look at families. So families eat similarly, all right? And you'll see, let's say a family of 6. 4 may be overweight or obese. The other 2 or 1 may be normal weight, all right? They have similar dietary and activity patterns. And so you may have a genetic predisposition, but what you eat or drink can actually turn on those genes, all right, and cause you to develop the conditions, all right? The most where they find out, one of them, called cancer is one, like lymphoma, those like blood, those rare type cancers, that they're more genetic. But the other ones, they're more lifestyle. The breast is, well, it's sort of in between, it seems, all right? But those, the colon cancer, prostate, those ones can be, the risk can be lowered based on our lifestyle, all right? So we say genes lower the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger, all right? So that's our choices that we make, all right? So the 3 critical concepts, so this is just a reminder, how frequently you eat, how much you eat, the types of foods you choose to eat is very important. Anybody eat like this now? Anybody have breakfast like a king or queen? Will you have one king, 2 kings, 3 kings? Anybody eat like lunch like a princess or prince? Supper like a pauper? Or we eating supper like a king or queen? Okay, so we want to switch that around, all right? All right, so breakfast eating is very, very important, all right? And breakfast is the first meal that we have today, and people argue about this all the time, that we shouldn't have breakfast. It's not the most important meal of today, but it's a really important meal to have. And when we skip meal, we increase our chances for developing type 2 diabetes, and we're more likely to pack on more belly fat, all right? And especially for women over 40, that's not good because menopause kicking in, and Mother Nature throws some fat there anyway, so that's a double whammy coming at us. All right, so make sure that you actually eat your breakfast every morning. And so a healthy breakfast is essential to help boost your metabolism and get your day started at a high level. All right, make sure you have a high protein breakfast as well. It really helps you to be able to concentrate and be more alert and attentive during the day, so you're more productive. All right? Okay, so we're going to look at some foods, and we're going to rate it on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 minute is not so healthy, 10 minutes is healthy.
What do you think about a person who's eating once a day?
1 meal a day, that could be a power pack meal. And that's it may be kind of difficult or challenging, but 1 meal a day, and that depends on where they are in terms of the life cycle. Whether it's a child, an adult, an elderly person, but 1 meal a day do not make it, do not make, it's not enough. 4 days? Boy, it would be challenging. I'm going to say it's impossible, but it's going to be very challenging. Because they have to get in the amount of energy and nutrients they need at that 1 meal. And it's better to have that at 2 meals rather than just 1. Yeah. Now 2 meals you can get away with. That's fine. But that 1 meal, yes.
Good evening, everyone. I've always wanted to know breakfast, right? So is breakfast the first meal of the day? So if my first meal for the day is at 12, that's still considered breakfast? Yes. So any meal that's first should be breakfast. Thanks. Yes.
Yes. And yes, welcome. This is our charm director for South Bahamas Conference, Kenisha and Kay. All right. So yes. So let's look at these. We'll just rate them on a scale from 1 to 10. All right. So these meals on here. Okay. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one do you think is the healthiest one? Okay, so remember, so when you think about this, always remember the balanced plate. Okay, number 3, that's like English muffin with peanut butter and apple slices. Yeah, and then the one to the very top is just peanut butter and bread. Then the one on top, number 3 is your blueberries, your peanut butter and your English muffin. Then the other one is just toasted eggs with some kind of chocolate beverage. Okay, so these two are the same, and these two are the same, minus the drink. All right, it's just protein. It's just protein and carbs. This is fruit protein and carbs. So the ones with the most food group represented will be the better one. Yes. What about this one? Look for food groups. Look for food groups and nutrients.
The oatmeal and the sandwich.
1, choose 1.
Oh, the sandwich.
Yes, one, but the sandwich will be the better one. And which one would not be the not so good one?
Cereal.
The Cheerios with the blueberries? You sure? Sure. Or the wrap says eggs with black beans and cheese.
Okay. And what is on top of it?
That's tomatoes. Some kind of tomato-based topping. Yeah, the sandwich would be the yes, that's a more balanced one. Yes. And even though that oatmeal one looks really nutritious, that's pure carbs. No protein, no fat is there. And that's not balanced at all. All right? Some a bit at the bottom. What about this one? Okay, if it's homemade granola, then it's better, but the commercial one has a lot of sugar. All right? And so some of them, like the fiber one, when it comes to the fiber, it has 57% of the fiber you need for the day. When you eat fiber one, make sure you drink plenty of water. Or any fibrous food, drink plenty of water, else you're going to get constipated. All right? The granola is fine once it doesn't have a whole lot of sugar. Of course, the oats is good. The Weetabix also has a lot of whole grains. Okay, should you have these foods as breakfast or as part of breakfast? So what time of the day should you have these foods? What time of the day? At which meal? who says breakfast? 2 people said breakfast. You're at the top of the class. You eat it at breakfast or you burn it off during the day. I say as part of, not as. So you having your balanced breakfast, right? So you having your balanced breakfast. Then you're gonna have, let's say if you want some sweets, but small amounts at the end of the meal, okay? You eat these by themselves, you're gonna get a sugar rush. If you're diabetic, that's even worse. That does more damage to your blood sugar, all right? The same thing with these foods here. All right, which is the healthiest one here? Or I should say the best of the worst. Number 2, yes. Yes, that's potatoes, like hash brown. Yes, yes, that'll be the better one. Those sugary breakfasts, they do sometimes more damage to our bodies than fats. All right, the sugars will really cause a heart disease and all those other conditions in the body. So be careful. But those sugar sweetened beverages, sugar sweetened foods and beverages, yes. And they're like dessert as well. All right. And if you have cereal, cereal is not a meal in itself. It's part of your breakfast. You want to have your protein, unless you put nuts and seeds and stuff in your cereal. You're going to make sure that protein is a part of your breakfast. All right, how would you rate this on a scale from 1 to 10 in terms of being balanced? That's boiled fish. That's boiled fish with potatoes, some white grits over there, some white bread over there. You got some sweet pepper and onions in it as well. How would you rate it from 1 to 10? 4 or 5. Okay. What would you do to make this more balanced? So what's the difference between the yellow grits and the white grits? You have yellow corn, you have white corn. It needs vegetables. You said little vegetables? And little vegetables? Potatoes. All right, so always remember, keep in mind a balanced plate. All right? So what you're going to have? So I heard somebody said some fruits and vegetables. Go ahead, Sister Val.
I was told some persons, they wash their grits before they prepare it to cook.
They're washing it?
Yes.
Or soaking it?
All the starch.
What's the purpose for washing the grits?
Take out some of the starch.
You can wash from now until
And
eternity.
also
that
your
starch
rice.
can be there. Oh. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let me tell you a story about the rice. I don't know if I told you that before. All right, so when the rice is harvested, it's a whole grain. Then it goes through the processing. During the processing, it's stripped of its bran or its outer layer, where all the fiber and plenty nutrients are. All right, the time we get to the end, you just have pure white rice. So at the end, what they do is they spray on some B vitamins that was lost during processing and some iron. All right? And so when you look on your rice package, you see enriched with. All right? So now you wash your rice off, so you wash all the rich stuff off of your rice. All the nutrients. So
They say wash off all the powdery stuff.
well, if you don't wash it out, that's up to you, but so in that case, you just make sure you get your other nutrients from some other sources, which would be better rather than have an artificial anyway. Okay? You have a question? Oh, okay. All right, let's look at this one. Anybody familiar with this?
Oh man, panny cake.
That's a panny cake, not pancake.
That's panny cake.
So how much of those do you think is a serving? How much of those do you think is a serving?
Be honest.
When it's small like that, not like the hot cakes you get from McDonald's and stuff like that. That
3.
size.
3.
Oh no, it's closer to 3. That's the small ones, like 3 of those would be probably about a serving. Okay? Uh-huh.
You
Okay.
eat 3 when you're frying them.
Oh my goodness. That's an appetizer. Eh? Okay, so how do you make pancakes? How do you make this meal a balanced breakfast or meal?
Add fruit.
Okay, so add some fruits. What else? Which protein you're adding to it?
Nuts.
Eggs. Okay. What else you adding? Uh-huh. How you adding beans to it? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yes, you can cook some beans. Yes, you can add. You can have some steams, also sauteed beans with some herbs or veggies.
And kale.
That's
and
good stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. No, that's a meal.
No, you're adding things
You're-
to it.
Remember pancakes is only the starch. So you need the protein, you need the veggies, and your fruits. All right, so you're trying to make a complete breakfast. What about this one?
Sheepdog? I'm telling you, look at that tongue.
For the case of this meeting, this is scallop. This is veggie scallop.
That look like sheepdog.
Oh, goodness. All right, so how about you make this a balanced breakfast? Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you add your veggies? No. So she said Johnny cake, so that's your starch. Uh-huh. All right, so your starch and the veggies you'll add. All right. Of the 3 of these, which one's the healthier one?
The first one.
Why the first one? There's avocado there?
That just look good. Fire engine.
All right. So just as a reminder, these processed meats are dangerous to our health. All right. The corned beef, the bacon, the hot dog, the Vienna sausages, the pepperoni, the luncheon meats, all of these of that color, that nation. Turkey, whatever kind of bacon it is. Once it has that color, that pinkish reddish color, that's nitrates or nitrites in them. They are known carcinogens. And these are first-class carcinogens.
Wow.
All right, so try not to consume those foods. Okay?
So what would be the difference between the processed foods and then the ones we make without, like, because I know, for example, a bean burger, y'all just make it with, like, y'all just blend it up and then make it. What's the difference between that and process? That's what I'm trying to say.
Thank you. All right, so the ones that we make, they're healthier because they have known ingredients that you know for sure that are healthy. So for example, when you make your bean burgers, you're using your beans, some oats, maybe some carrots, other vegetable herbs and seasonings. All right, and that's fine. But those processed stuff, you don't know the source of a lot of those ingredients. And then they add a lot of chemicals, additives, preservatives to them. That's what makes it not so healthy for us, or not healthy at all for us to have. The mic.
Can we include the veggie can items on the
Oh.
vegetarian? Would
Yeah,
you like to
so-
buy?
The sodium, some of those canned veggie meats, they're not even fit to be eaten. All right, so you always look at the sodium content. The thing is, we have to try. Okay, so those commercial vegetarian meats are actually made for people in transition. You transition it from meat to vegetarianism or veganism. All right, so you should only be them for a short period of time. And in the meantime, you learn to make your own veggie meat or entrees, plant-based entrees. Okay.
All right. What about the kosher packaged meats? I know when they say kosher, it is supposed to be 100% of the meat that you're purchasing. So the kosher beef, the kosher turkey hot dogs, the kosher turkey deli slices.
It ain't no better. It's not necessarily any better. It ain't no better. Kosher is just the way, that's the way that the Jews actually they just drain the blood from the animal properly. They just properly drain it from the animal, but it's not real difference in terms of nutrition when it comes to those.
So the kosher meat, packaged meat, could possibly still have fillers in them?
More likely. Once they've been in meats, they've been processed in certain ways, they added a whole lot of preservatives to keep those meats. All right? Plenty preservatives. Yes, ma'am.
Is the frozen veggie meat that comes in the freezer and the can any different?
Yes. Sometimes the frozen ones are a little bit better because they don't have as much sodium as compared to the can and as much preservative. So one of the preservation methods for the frozen ones is actually the freezing, the coldness, the temperature of it. So they tend to be a little better than the can versions. But the best one is always to make your own. Any other questions?
Yeah, the color of the meat, when you notice that, if you buy the turkey burger or hamburger, whatever, it's red, red, red. And I was telling somebody the other day, she was cooking it, and I was like, that's a lot of dye, red dye
It is.
inside that meat. She said, oh, no, it's not.
That's the bloody.
She said, the leaner it is, the redder it is. I was like, some people, and some people choose healthy eating, but they would go and they'd buy all these things of the healthy section, but there they go and they still kill themselves with that
Yes.
contaminated meat.
Yes, a lot of people think that the red dye and there's actually blood. That was blood that would be stink and rotten. All right, so that's not blood in there. That's red dye, and that is also very dangerous to our health. Okay.
I want to know, right? The other day, I went to Wendy's to get our chili beans. And I wonder if that is good.
If you're making your own, it'd be better. Because they have beef in that. You said Wendy's, right? Yeah, there's beef in that, and you weren't sure where that beef come from or how long they had that. All right, so it's better to make your own. Next week, we're going to give you some recipes for the chili, or I'll drop a document in the chat where you can see more recipes that has the chili recipe that you can make yourself. It's easy and it's tasty and very nutritious. All right. All right, so what would you do to make this meal healthier or balanced?
Salad. A nice, juicy salad.
What about the quantity of rice on there?
Yeah, maybe lessen it, huh?
Make it a half a cup.
That's vegetable and beef for the sake. This beef. Yeah.
Put
Yes.
some turmeric in the rice.
Make it yellow. Make it yellow rice. All right. You throw some beans in the rice too. Beans or peas in the rice. Okay. What about this one, the national breakfast of?
Tuna and grits.
Which one you think is more balanced?
The last one.
You have some fats, you have protein, and you have
Not just fats, but healthy fats.
healthy fats. Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
That's what avocado's healthy. Then you
Yes,
have
that's tuna.
onion and sweet pepper.
Now we talked about tuna last time. Remember, tuna's in the canned tuna fish is not the best to eat.
Right.
All right. So how would you rate this one over here on the right hand side, on a scale from 1 to 10? So what would you do to give it a 10?
Make it the mock tuna. Make it a mock tuna with garbanzo beans and add some leafy greens like a nice sauteed kale and carrots and onions.
Mushrooms.
Oh yes, mushrooms.
Okay. Yes. Well, you can add a fruit as well. What about this one? I know eating this one, but that's a lot of.
I don't know. You should have been doing this food.
All right, so on a scale from 1 to 10, how about you rate this one? A 3? That's too much. Too much of what? Uh-huh.
Replace the corned beef with mackerel and only 1 scoop, not 2, of the tuna.
And you add some veggies to that? Yes. All right. Let's look at appetizers. Appetizers and dinner. All right, this is our scallop salad. Okay. Which one is the appetizer?
The blue bowl.
Right. The other one is actually a meal.
Yeah.
All you need is some carbs with that, starch, and you're good to go. All right, so that's scallop salads. And this is corn fritters.
Okay.
All right. So which one?
Okay.
Which one is the appetizer?
The one on the right.
One on the right.
Okay, so the other one, if you have like a plate, make sure that you share with like 3 or 4 persons. Don't eat the whole thing yourself. All right? I know it's hard, but remember, it's appetizers, smaller amounts. All right? Okay, on a scale from 1 to 10, how about you rate this one? 6. 4.
Onions and sweet pepper on the steamed fish.
And that makes it better?
That makes it healthier.
I give it a 6.
Too much starch.
Yeah, that's not so much.
Okay, so let's say I want some macaroni, some rice, and a plantain. What can I do to have all 3 of those at that meal?
Cut the macaroni slice in half.
Cut the macaroni in 4. So that's just one bite.
Yeah, that's a sample.
Okay, so right. So I'm gonna make sure that the plantain, the rice, and the macaroni fits in the 1/4 section of my plate. All right. What do you think about the fish size?
Just right.
That depends on how eating it. All right. Now, if Elder Ian was here, Brother Lewis, they can handle fish. But I think we don't need as much. Unless you're over 40, you maybe can handle that whole thing. In terms of the protein content, but. Okay. So when we decrease the sizes of the starches, then we add our vegetables to it. All right. What about this one? 1 to 10.
Was that fried scallop?
Yes. What about the vegetables?
7.
Yeah, that's our veggie fish. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Let's use our imagination.
Is that high in protein, the veggie fish?
It depends on what it's made of. They usually make a veggie fish from beans, especially like pea protein. They use that a lot of times. And other people use gluten. That's high in protein as well. So either one of them, yeah, it's fine. Okay, so we need to add more veggie to this plate. That's not enough. All right.
Take off some of the protein.
Yes. What about that one?
Oh, wow. That's it. Too much salad.
Did you say no protein? Do you have protein in the cheese? Okay, so y'all get the idea. Wonderful.
No meat?
In terms of eye appeal, which one is more attractive?
The first one on the left.
Yes. That is more on the left. More closer down for me, please. All right. So when we prepare our food, we want to make sure that it's also attractive and appealing or pleasing to the eyes. We have fish already. What about when we have stuff like stews? How can you balance a meal that is a stew? Uh-huh.
When I starch, you can add in carrots, you can add in anything in stew man.
Okay. Yeah, you will need some vegetables with this meal. All right. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. What about this one? Look. Right. So how about you reduce the carbs, Sarah? What will you take off? Okay. You want to loosen our fries? Okay. All right, so yes, and you add some more veggies too. That's not enough veggies on that. Yes. What about this one?
Oh, that's the Bahamian food right there. Yes.
You setting up people for fail tonight.
That's the combo.
When you leave from here, do not go to any fast food restaurants. Do not stop the bamboo shack over there. But what can you do to make this more nutritious?
A salad.
But what if I want the fries?
And add a salad.
So what if I add a whole grain roll? Would that make it better? Okay, so if I have, let's say I want the roll, I can just take off half the fries and half the roll. All right? And then the chicken is a whole lot. So maybe have half the chicken and add your veggies to that, okay? Whenever, I know sometimes we may be, let's say sometimes we want to have a meal like this, right? I'm not saying it's the best thing to do, but whenever you have a meal like this, always make it balanced no matter whatever meal you have. Always have your vegetables with your meals, all right? It provides those antioxidants and those fibers and stuff like that to help some of these to be able to not be absorbed, some of the fat not to be absorbed into your system and not have that inflammatory effect on your body when you eat these foods, all right? All right, what about these ones? Which one is more nutritious? Look at it very good. Look at it very well. There's no protein in the first one. That's just a vegetable wrap. Yeah, so the one on the right will be the more nutritious one. Okay? All right, so these are showing different ways that you can, or different foods. I know earlier we talked about our Bahamian foods being not so healthy. So these are showing you some other foods that you can incorporate into your meal plan just to add more nutrition to it. All right?
I'm still on this breakfast
Okay.
thing, right? I want to find out. I have the protein powder.
Uh-huh.
So what I will do, I like granola and yogurts in the morning, but it's the non-dairy one. So what I will do, because I can't drink, I don't like the taste. So I will mix the powder in my yogurt then with my granola. Am I getting all of my protein? Like, is that a balanced?
Yes.
And
well,
I have fruit. So is that
so you have fruit, granola, protein
the yogurt
powder.
and the protein
You don't
powder?
need to mix it as vegetables.
For the morning? I need vegetables in the, okay.
Try to have vegetables at every meal.
Okay.
Yes. So you mix it, do you, do you do it in a blender or you just do it by themselves? I mean, uh-huh. Okay. 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 Well, you have the protein powder there, so that's, yeah. Okay. Veggies. No, but I asked if you put in a blender, if you threw some spinach leaves in that, you would
Or kale.
Okay, so all you do, okay, so at the next meal you just make sure you have plenty veggies. Yes, yes. Okay. The mic. Yes, the mic.
I have a question about like certain chains of restaurants because there, there are situations where your family is going out on an outing or maybe you have a visitor and there's a nearby place. So let's use Burger King for example. Burger King has a menu specifically for like if you eat fully healthy, right? My thing is, right? Should I just in a public space? Should I just be like, nah, I can't eat it because it's still technically processed? I assume the veggie burger from Burger King is processed and stuff, but like, should I just not eat or like?
So we're coming down to that. So when you go to fast food restaurants, you try to make the healthier choices. Let's say you choose chicken burger, all right? Make sure I choose the grilled one as opposed to the fried one. Choose, let's say, salad instead of fries, water instead of sodas. All right, you try to make those choices. But let's say if you do have fries, try to get a smaller one rather than the big one. All right, so just try to make smart choices with those not so nutritious foods. And it's not ruling out that you can't have it, but just try not to have it on a frequent basis. Like 2 to 3 times a month is okay. But even when you still go, try to make it as healthy as possible.
You just mentioned something interesting. So sorry, but like grilled versus fried. What are you gonna go into that, or is it like? Can I talk to you? Can I talk about it? Like, what's
the difference between grilled and fried?
Well, no, what's the difference?
Which
But like,
one?
what's the like benefits? Is like, should we stay away from fried
Less
things
fats.
or less fat?
Yeah, less fat, especially the bad fats, because they don't use olive oil cooked in all the fast food restaurants.
True. They use
the highly processed ones. So it wouldn't be the best one to use.
Okay.
Yes, over and over.
I have
So when you have your sandwiches, what do you eat with them? Or what should you eat with the sandwiches? Yeah, so do you think the vegetables in your sandwich is enough? Right, so you can have a little salad with it, or have some carrots, some tomatoes, cucumbers, celery, some other kind of vegetables, steamed vegetables, with your sandwiches. All right, let's go to dessert. Anybody love dessert?
yeah.
Which one is the appetizer? Sorry, you should have. Not the appetizer. Yeah, the smallest. Remember, you already had the full meal. Yeah, if you have a big one, share it. But if you when you have so try not to have one like 2 slices. All right, and then of course slices come in different sizes. Or all right, so try to choose the smaller pieces rather than the big old hunk of cake. The same thing with the cheesecake. I know this is one of the behemoth favorites, so try to choose the smaller pieces. Remember, the desserts come out after the meal, so remember your stomach should be at least 3/4 full when you're having dessert, all right? One scoop or 2 scoops?
1 scoop.
Oh gosh. All right. Now there is a way. So let's say you have your meal, right? Let's say you had no carbs at your meal. So let's say you you like your fish and your salad. Then you can perhaps have the 2 scoops of ice cream for dessert. Each of those scoops is a serving of carbs. Then you have your cone as well as carbs. So it'll be your 3 servings of carb right there. So you can mix and match, you can swap when it comes to dessert and the other carbs in your main meal.
If you have your meal, when should you have your dessert? Right after or before?
Yes, ma'am, right after your meal.
Oh,
Yes. Waiting period? What you waiting for?
you overgo.
No, okay, so the thing is, right? You want to have all a bit at a time. Okay, so when your food started to digest, you don't be piling food upon food, then wait a little while longer. Then your food take a longer. The process of digestion it's going to be a little longer, and then you sort of interrupting the process when you actually eat after like a half an hour afterwards. You sort of interrupting the process as it continues, so it slows down digestion a bit. All right, so you have all your meal one time. Okay, I remember one time I had this client. She ate breakfast like 3 times for the morning. So she spread it. So let's say she had it. She used to have it like she woke up very early. So let's say she had it like 5, then she'd have some at 7, and then at about like 9, 10 o'clock. So yes, that's breakfast that whole time.
And when I get there, I take like 3 spoons, put it aside, and then the next an hour, I take another. You see, that's what I used to do.
No, you want to sit down and eat your meal one time. All right, don't space it out because you're interrupting your digestion as you eat those different times. Okay.
I have a question. Should I eat my fruits before I eat my meal, breakfast, or after?
Yes, you can. So, for the diabetics, are you diabetic? Okay, so I'll tell you. I'm gonna tell diabetics to test it. All right. So there is a school of thought. Well, some research is showing now that you should have it after your meal, so it wouldn't interfere with your blood sugar levels rising. All right, but eat it first on an empty stomach. Then 15 minutes later, eat your main meal. Eat the rest of your breakfast. All right. Test your blood sugar levels 2 hours afterwards. If you see your sugar levels over like 180, then you want to have it after your meal, all right, as a dessert rather than as an appetizer
I have
before
it
your
under
meal.
control.
Pardon?
I have it under control.
Okay, so you're straight then. Pass the mic down, please.
Okay, what about, she asked about eating fruits if you're a diabetic before meals. What about your vegetables? Say you have tuna and grits, right? I noticed that eating tuna and grits, I would have a sugar spike if I don't eat anything else with it. Should I eat my vegetables? Like if I have a salad, right? An ample amount of salad, I would split it in 2. I'll eat some for breakfast and then for lunch. Should I eat my salad before the tuna and grits and wait for like that same 15 minutes?
Yes, vegetables should always be first at every meal. We got a veggie starter, so always have, especially when you're diabetic or you're trying to manage your weight, always have vegetables first. Then you have your protein and fats, then you have your starch. The starch always comes last. All right, so you're eating the vegetables and the protein. That's there to coat your stomach, basically. So when the starch comes, it controls how high your blood sugar level rises, the fiber in them, all right? When you eat the starch first, it starts digesting from the mouth, and then it pushes up your blood sugar levels, all right? So always eat the starch for your vegetables first, okay? Any other questions? All right, so beverages, which one is the best one here? Which one is the worst? Which soda? Gombay Punch, that's right. A 20-ounce Gombay Punch has 22.5 teaspoons of sugar. 22.5. The can has about 12. And yes, the bottle has 22.5 teaspoons.
What about the Coke?
The Coke has, I think, 11 or 12 teaspoons.
That's the bottle?
So if you want to, I can show you right now how to calculate it. Any foods that you have, how to calculate the carbs. So make sure I stay away from these sugar-sweetened beverages and these ones. Have your native fruits. All right. Have your native fruits. We talked about fast foods already. All right. So these are the reasons not to have these big. If you have to have the single burger, if you eat burger, don't have the double and triple and quadruple burgers. All right. What's the best advice? That's it. All right. So remember to balance your plates. And you know, choose healthy food preparation methods. All right. Anybody read the food labels? Sometimes. What do you look for when you read the food labels?
Sugar.
Sodium level.
Okay.
Oh, you me.
All right, let's look at the label. Okay, so let's go from top to bottom. So the United States Department of Agriculture, so they changed the label about, I think just over 10 years ago. And so that was a new one to make it more consumer friendly. All right? And so we're going to look at the new label. We'll go from top to bottom. How many servings is in that container? 8, yes, 8 servings in the container. The serving size is how much? 2/3. Yeah, 2/3 cups of 55 grams. If it were liquid food, it'll be in liquid measures, milliliters or whatever. All right. We're coming down. So serving size is a specific amount of food. All right. Portion size is any amount. Okay. Amount per serving. So remember, the serving size is 2/3 cups. Amount per serving. So in 2/3 cups, you have all of these nutrients here listed. That's just one serving of the food. If you're having 2, you multiply it by 2, 3 multiplied by 3, etc. Okay? So the calories in this 2/3 cups is 230. Okay? Then we have percent daily value. So percent daily value is based on the recommended dietary allowances of the RDA. And so they recommend a certain amount for healthy persons to stay healthy, the minimum amount. All right? So when you have, let's say, potassium, one serving of this food, you got 6% potassium, which means you need another 4% for the day from other food sources. Okay? So we have what we call the 5%, 20% guide. 5% means the nutrients low, 20% means the nutrients high. Okay? So we want the nutrients, so which nutrients do we want to be low in your food? Which nutrients? What else?
Saturated fats, I should say. Sugars.
Uh-huh.
Carbohydrates.
Why you want carbs to be low?
Well, no. Well, I'm thinking for me.
All right, we want fat, cholesterol, sodium, and sugars to be low in the food. All right? Now, of course, by nature, some foods are high. For example, if you got a bottle of olive oil or coconut oil, the fat will be high. But if you were to buy a loaf of whole wheat bread, the first ingredient should not be any kind of fat, sugar, or salt, all right? It should be 100% whole grain flour or whole wheat flour. Okay, so total fat here, so there are different types of fat, saturated, trans, monounsaturated, polyunsaturated. But these two on here, these two cause a lot of issues when we have them in excess. Okay, so especially trans fat, we want to be 0. Trans fat is a man-made fat, the hard margarine, and the food's made from them. And they like to do a lot of pastries from the hard margarine. All right, going on. Cholesterol is 0 milligrams, which means this food is a plant-based food. It has no cholesterol. All right, sodium. Do you think the sodium is high or low in this food? High or low? Sodium is 7%. Is that high or low? 5%, 20% guide. 5% means it's low, 20% means it's high.
That's low.
Right, that's low, okay? So you have to worry about looking at the milligrams, because there's a category for low, moderate, and high when it comes to sodium. So rather than try to figure out how much it is, just remember the 5%, 20% guide, okay? Total carbohydrates. All right, for those of you who are diabetic, and looking for, trying to manage your weight, you're going to divide 37 by 15. 15 is the amount of grams. 15 grams is one serving of carb. Okay. All right, 15 grams is one serving of carb. All right, so when you divide 37 by 15, how much you get? Yeah, 2 point something, right? Right. All right, which means when you have 1 cup of this, 1 serving of this, yeah, 2/3 cup of this food, you have like 2 servings of carbs. So imagine having cereals. Anybody's measured cereals?
Nope.
You just pour in the bowl, right? So you see how it's very easy. It's very easy to have excess carbs when you have cereals, those commercial prepared cereals. All right? And so, coming down, so under total carbs, we have dietary fiber, and we have sugars, total sugars. So fiber, dietary fiber, you always want your dietary fiber to be 3 grams or more. Okay? When you buy a bread, when you buy a pasta, your quinoa, any kind of cereals, any kind of pastas, you want to be at least 3 grams. If any more than that, you leave it on the shelf. All right? Then we go to total sugars. We want the total sugars to be as less as possible. Okay? The added sugars here, so they added 10 grams of sugar to this food. Was it a high sugar or low sugar food before they added it to it?
Low sugar.
Yes, it was only 2 grams of sugar it had in, and they added 10 more, made it 12.
Yeah.
So they took this, so it's 20%, which means it's a high sugar food now. Okay? So if you want to know how much sugar is in your food, you divide the total sugars by 4. And that tells you how much teaspoons of sugar is actually in 1 serving of the food. So if you have your sodas, and your soda is 45 grams of sugar, so 45 divided by 4 is how much?
12. Yeah, 11.
So you have 11 teaspoons of sugar.
Whoa.
Okay? So
Why do you think they're adding more? Why do they have to add sugar? Why are we adding more sugar?
because sugar tastes good, and what tastes good sells.
Yeah.
So remember, manufacturers said they're not thinking about our health. Their bottom line is dollars and cents. Okay? So always remember that.
Back in the day, like years ago, I don't remember seeing added sugars. I never used to notice that on the label.
Because that's something new they just added.
Right.
Oh, they just started
You
that.
did,
Yeah.
and that's because you never know whether the sugar was naturally found in the food or whether they added to this. Are total sugars. All right, so now they have that, and it's easy for consumer to know.
I remember doing a course with you, Sister Smith. Doing a course with you, and I remembered even before understanding the label, I always remembered you drilled. If you don't have the label, just look at the list of ingredients, and if anything with ose at the end, glucose, fructose, and if that's the first thing, that is the most, that has the highest content of, that's the
Sweetness,
ingredient,
sugar.
right, that's the ingredient with the highest percentage of sugar in it, right?
Okay. But sugar is, another name for sugar is like maltose, lactose, galactose. So then we see OSC is the sugar.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if that's the first ingredient, that means it has a really high,
Yes, that's the
really
highest.
high content.
Right. Yes. All right, coming down the line, we have protein. There's no RDA for protein. But first we need about, so if you weigh 50 pounds, you need like 50 grams of protein for the day. All right, so it's pound per the grams. All right, coming down the list, we have vitamin D. So these ones down here were listed based on the prevalent health conditions at the time that this was made. So remember, cancer is a very prevalent health condition right now. Usually people who have cancer, the vitamin D levels are very low. All right, so they put vitamin D here to let you know how much vitamin D is actually in the food. Then calcium. Who needs calcium a lot? Children and pregnant women, so we always have them. All right, we always have us. And what about iron?
Everybody.
Especially who?
Anemics.
Especially females. For menstruation purposes.
Yes.
All right, that is potassium. The cause of death, the highest cause of death, well, what causes that mainly is in the Western world, in the Bahamas, is heart disease. And people who have heart disease usually have low potassium levels. So whether that's a high blood pressure, the ischemic heart disease or whatever, it's low potassium. And so once you have more potassium, so as you increase in potassium, your risk for those conditions go down. Or you're healed if you have them. you have better health outcomes when you have more potassium in your diet. All right, so the ingredients list. So Sister Lewis mentioned already, whichever the first ingredient is in the food, that's the ingredient the food is made the most of. Okay? And when you see sugar starting at the beginning of an ingredient list, it's not so good, unless it's only 2 ingredients. Okay? And so it's mandatory that they put the nutrition facts on there, and the ingredients list so consumers can know what's in your food, what's in our food, so they can know whether it's good for them or not. And even with the allergens, if you have any allergies, they're usually listed right under the ingredients list. All right? And so you make sure that there are ingredients in the food that you recognize as being food. When you see those big words that you can't pronounce, shouldn't eat it. All right? So make sure all of these are ingredients that you recognize as being real food. The sweetness we just talked about. So make sure you have nothing without high fructose corn syrup or corn syrup. Not good sweeteners. They do more damage to your health than anything else. And then when it comes to your salts, MSG.
Yeah.
All right? I have to give, I was supposed to have put, so since consumers got hip to MSG, they started, they put it under other names, under other labels. Wow. All right? And so, be very deceptive. All right? For your fats, make sure there's no hydrogenated fats or partially hydrogenated fats. Then you should put the allergens there. So if you're allergic to nuts or anything, then you don't use the food. So when you have these different flavors and colors, like yellow number 5 and blue number 40 and all kinds of things like that, don't use the food. It's not real. There's also nutrition claims, all right? When you want to decrease the amount of certain nutrients, look for free, low, reduced, or light. Now, when it comes to these low and fat-free and stuff like that, let's say, for example, whole milk. Which one do you think is better, the whole milk or the low-fat milk?
Low fat.
Let me see the hearts of those who say whole milk is the best. You're the brightest in the class. Yeah, so whole milk is intact with all of its nutrients.
Okay.
All right? When you strip the milk of the fat, you carry plenty nutrients with it. And so when you drink that low-fat milk, it's not digested properly. You don't have the proper digestion as when you would drink the whole milk. All right? And the nutrients in there.
But I noticed too, like, with labeling, if something has like a low-fat content, it's usually high in sugar. They can put something in there. They
Sugar
can trick
or
them
protein
right.
or carbs.
Sugar or protein. So if they have low sugar, it can be high in fat. They can replace it with that. So you have to be careful with those labels.
Yes.
So
Very
what
good
about
points.
the milk that says skim milk?
That's worse. That's what's up, baby. Dialect. All right. And there are also some health claims on there where they have this disease risk reduction. Think about it and see if you ever see these on any particular foods. A healthy diet, low in saturated and trans fats, may reduce the risk of heart disease. Blank food is free from saturated and trans fats. You ever saw any food with that before? What about Cheerios? Ever saw Cheerios or oats or any of those cereals? Yeah.
Yes.
So the main ingredient there is oats that actually help to reduce the risks for heart disease because of the fiber in it. Okay? Then there are also some other health claims like calcium-rich foods and reducing the risk of osteoporosis. Yep. And along with that, you have to have your vitamin D as well, because calcium and vitamin D, they work together like that. All right? Then there is low sodium foods and decreased risk of hypertension. Yeah, so make sure don't use that box salt, because it's high in sodium. It just has sodium and chloride in that box salt, but the other salts have the other minerals in them. Pardon? The course? Yes, ma'am. Yes. That's more intact. low fat and reduced risk of cancer. All right? A diet high in fiber and low fat, saturated fats, and cholesterol, and reduced risk of coronary heart disease. And then folate-rich foods and reduced risk of neural tube birth defects. So women of childbearing age, we like to tell them make sure they have enough folate foods in their diet. Let's read this one together.
Don't dig your grave with your own knife and fork.
Uh-huh.
Help
Go
us,
ahead.
Lord.
It's your choice.
Make it healthy.
Right. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question in reference.
Mike.
Yeah, I have a question in reference to vitamin D. You say we lack that. Like, well, we're in a climate with...
You said D as in dog?
D, yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, we get vitamin D from the sun, and we live in a sunny climate. Is that statistics here in the Bahamas, or that's just other places with lack of vitamin D?
No, a lot of us lack vitamin D. I know some persons when they do the test and they find their levels are low. I haven't heard anybody who said the levels were high or normal. All right, so look at the different health concerns. We have cancer, which is way up there, heart disease, all kind of different diseases. Well, vitamin D, once our vitamin D levels are optimal, our health is usually really good. But when that drops, it gets worse.
Oh, I just thought the sun would have really helped us.
We don't go in the sun enough.
I mean, I guess I be outside all the time.
It's what us don't go in the sun enough.
Oh, okay.
So you have to go in the sun, soak up your vitamin D. And our skins are darker, so we need to be in a little longer.
Oh, okay.
And don't put any them stuff on your skin. Sunscreen. Don't bother. They are toxins to your skin.
Okay.
To your body. So don't bother with them.
All right.
Anyone else? Okay, I was listening to Barbara Neal. I think it was just last week. They were asking her what to put on their skin. She said, all she carries is a watch. And so, 15 minutes, but she's lighter, so she'll soak it up faster. She said she'll turn over on her back for 15 minutes, then she'll turn over for the next 15 minutes, and then after she just go in the shade. So she would have gotten her 5,000 international units of vitamin D for the day. All right, so for us, we need probably 20 minutes on both sides, and be good. Or depends on how sensitive your skin is to the sun. Because if I stand up in the sun for 15, 20 minutes, I start to get tan. I start to burn.
Okay,
Yes.
so question, when it comes to the sun and our getting that 20 minutes on both sides, what is the best time of the day to go out in the sun to get that 20 minutes on both sides?
Okay, if you
possible?
want it really potent fast, go like 12 o'clock in the day. All right? And the thing is, you want the upper part, wear like a sleeveless top. Or have the back of your neck exposed, that's where a lot of it is absorbed. All right? And so when you go long sleeve, you're blocking the rays. It can't penetrate your skin. When you put stuff on your skin too, it can't really penetrate it. But if you lightly put on some coconut oil, it should be okay, but not a whole lot to block up your pores. All right? If you go, like some people say, before 10 in the morning, that's fine too. So just see how it works within. Then, of course, that's a supplement. I was watching another documentary. This gentleman, he's a doctor. He said he would take vitamin D every day. Then he tested every day for a month. He tested his levels. He said there wasn't much change in his D status. And so he decided to take a whole lot on one day after week. So on Sunday, he loaded up on a whole lot of vitamin D. So every Sunday he'll take it, and then like on the weekends, or on the Saturday and Sunday, he'll go walking for about an hour or so, exposed, so he can get the rays. He said after the month, his vitamin D is way up. All right, so I thought it was interesting, so I started doing it too, but I haven't gotten tested yet to see if it actually works. All right, so there are different ways to get it. Okay, any other questions? Everybody well fed for the day? Okay, wonderful. Okay, I see two hands. Give her the mic, please.
So, like during mealtime, when is the best time to have your drink?
An hour after your meal. Sister Biden? Yeah, so it's 15 minutes, a half hour before your meal or 1 to 2 hours after the meal. And then that's to improve your digestive efficiency.
Yes, I was watching a commentary, and it was saying iodized salt. You know, they always told us to use it to prevent
Yes.
thyroid, some stuff like that. And now they're saying it's dangerous for your health.
Yes.
Say because of it bring on things like lupus, and you're allergic to the iodine and all of that.
Yes. Yes, iodized salts. It's good to use. Talk about the box salts. So what you want to do is get iodine from different foods, especially anything from the sea will have iodine in it. And also some, like kale, those green vegetables, they will have some iodine in it as well. So use those sauces rather than the box. Throw the box salt away. If you have that home in the cupboard, throw it in the garbage when you get home. Or that is no good to use. Himalayan salt is fine. I only saw one salt, Bluff on Carmichael Road. That's the only salt I saw Celtic salts in. Celtic salt is another good one. Besides, we have sea salts in this part of the world. I think the sea salt would be the better one for us anyway. But the Himalayan is good too. Any other questions? All right, so thank you so much for your attention and participation. I'm going to turn it back over to our moderator.
Okay, we did not get to cook anything today, but we learned a lot, right? So give her another round of applause, please. Thank you, Sister Shandira, for such a powerful presentation this evening. That was very informative. Yes. And so we are going to go in the food store and check our labels, right?
Yes.
And then when we have to eat out, we are going to choose correctly. We are going to choose the best wisely, right? Choose wisely. Okay. So now we are going to ask Elder Green if he can please come and do the benediction for us, please.
One more question in reference to Sunday coming. Are we still going to Anatole Rogers?
I just want to ask about that.
Let us stand.
9 or 10.
You won't want your hour back. Child, 10 o'clock may be better.
Let us stand. Let us bow our heads where we are. Most loving and kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we just give you thanks once again. We thank you for leading us down the path of righteousness in health for your name's sake and for ours. We thank you, O God, for the words of life. We thank you for the presenters here. We thank you for everyone who gathered here with the mindset of learning to live healthy by choice. And according to the powers that you have put in Genesis 1 and 29, may we all follow that. In Jesus' name, let everyone say, Amen. Amen.